It's going to be another quiet month on the east side of the river. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is calling for a shelter in place for the next 2 weeks, starting Friday night to curb the spread of COVID-19. With that, he also said all bars and restaurants will be closed until May 1st. Walz says people sheltering at home is the best way to save lives during this pandemic. It will allow hospitals more time to prepare and treat patients.
We were optimistic that it would list off sale in liquor stores as essential businesses, which would allow us to keep operating during a shelter-in-place order, and so that gave us a little bit of comfort during this.
The Minnesota restrictions will allow people to go out and shop for essential needs, care for family members or pets at another household, see their doctors, and relocate because of an emergency. To learn more about the shelter-at-home order, we have Governor Tim Walz's full statement on the VNL app. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases in Minnesota has now jumped to 287. That's up from 25 on Tuesday. 25 patients are now in the hospital. There has been one death in the state, and in Clay County, the number of positive tests remains at 3. Just about 2 minutes past the top of the hour, let's get a check of that forecast this morning with Lisa Green.
Good morning. Today starting off with some cloud cover overhead. Some places yet again talking about some fog here for us. Just a few spots and the potential for precipitation. But the good news is we've got some warming weather starting up today and some breaks in those clouds too where we get to see some sunshine as well. So first of all, looking at this morning, the sunrise at 7:17. So kind of making up for moving into daylight saving time, getting closer to where we were before. And of course, our daylight hours are extending into the night as well. We'll see those temperatures below freezing, a little bit chilly out there this morning to start off, and then continuing through the day, we warm above the freezing mark back into the mid-30s for your highs here in Fargo, high of 35 degrees, some partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, and then temperatures starting to take a dip back down into the 20s for tonight. But what's going to be critical here is that wind coming in out of the south or southwest, not very strong, but enough to kind of turn things around, or at least make that start as we work through the day. Now, I mentioned some areas of fog. It's a little murky in the dark here, but you can kind of make out that we've got some fog on our DOT cam in the Verona area in southeastern North Dakota. So low visibility there. And heading in that direction, we did drop down to 0 at the Oaks reporting site for visibility. Valley City's at 0 too. We're at a quarter mile in Cooperstown. So dealing with some fog there. Elsewhere, we're looking okay, though it looks like Crookston might be getting a little bit of fog development too in that area. Temperatures are chillier this morning. We're in the teens and 20s. So I want to make sure that you're ready for that. If you're heading outdoors this morning, will be at about 15 degrees in Grand Forks and 23 in Fargo. And there's a chance for an isolated area of rain or snow. We're seeing a couple of flakes right now in Langdon. We'll take a closer look at that coming up in your hour-by-hour planner.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. North Dakota will double the amount of COVID-19 tests in the coming days after a jump in cases over the past few days. State officials reported 9 positive tests from Tuesday afternoon to Wednesday afternoon. That raises the total number now to 45. Those patients include 2 people in their 30s, 4 in their 50s, 2 in their 60s, and 1 in their 70s. 3 of the new cases came from Cass County, and the Department of Health is working on tracing how those patients got the virus. Governor Doug Burgum is forming a testing task force that will include help from the private sector and include a Fargo company that has been providing testing materials to pharmacies around the world. First responders in North Dakota are now eligible for workers' compensation. Governor Doug Burgum's latest executive order provides those workers who get COVID-19 on the job. Previously, the state workers' comp law didn't cover viruses. But this new executive order will cover both paid and voluntary workers who need to quarantine because they were exposed to the coronavirus while working. That includes firefighters, police officers, sheriff's deputies, ambulance and medical crews, and volunteer first responders.
Executive order provides workers' compensation for first responders and healthcare providers who contract COVID-19 on the job. The environment of someone who's working as a first responder significantly increases their direct exposure to COVID-19 as they're working to help others and save others' lives.
The compensation will include wage replacement and medical benefits. Coverage is backdated to March 13th, the day the governor declared a state of emergency. For more details on this, just find this story on the VNL News app. And when it comes to the coronavirus, we have talked a lot about washing our hands regularly, But don't forget to scrub down surfaces in your home as well. It's important to know what products to use and how we should be using them. And the Valley Today's Abby Furchner joins us live this morning talking to Home Helper Services with more on what we need to know. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Jordan. I'm here with Jeffrey Skinner with the Home Helper Services LLC. And Jeffrey, I know that it's important to rub all those germs off of your hands, but it's also important to rub those germs off of the surfaces in your home. But what products should you be using, and maybe some products you should be avoiding?
Yes, good morning, Abby. Thanks for having us on. Definitely the products that you want to definitely have on hand are any products that are CDC or EPA approved, meaning hospital grade, but also on the other hand, anything that you can get from the store, like for example, we use the Shackley's, anything that is on that list or anything that says on the back that it literally can kill the human coronavirus will work for you. Yes, even the Lysol wipes or anything like that, but definitely as it gets worse, or if it gets worse, you definitely want to get the hospital grade, which is really hard to get now because it's out, but you can get by with a lot of the things you have. You definitely just have to read the instructions on the back on the consistency or between the water and the product that you put in it to spray it on your surface.
And why is it important to get these specific products? Does it kill the bacteria? How long can this bacteria even last in the air, or this virus last in the air?
It can last it can last in the air. Varies. It could actually go 10 feet from your body on a sneeze or a cough, but it's been shown it can last on metal surfaces for up to like 24 hours and 12 hours. Last on cardboard, and that's why you want to make sure that you're having your best chance to kill the virus with products like this. But it's very important to read the instructions, because you have to let the product be wet and allow for what's called a dwell time in order for it to kill the virus. The good thing with this virus is it's a very short time frame. So anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds on mostly good disinfectants will actually kill this virus.
Wow. See, I did not know all this stuff. I feel like this is going to be such an informative morning, because it really is important to make sure you're getting the right products, you're letting them air dry. And I know too that a lot of people are kind of missing some of the spots that they should definitely be cleaning. We'll be talking about that here in a few minutes. So you're going to want to stay with us, because just to make sure you're deep cleaning your home too is super important.
It's always an informative morning here on the Valley Today. Abby Furchner reporting live. Thank you very much. A $2 trillion relief package for Americans hard hit by the coronavirus crisis goes to the House of Representatives today after the Senate approved the measure last night. The stimulus package negotiated with the White House includes billions of dollars in help for businesses and a cash payment of up to $1,200 for most working Americans and $500 for children. President Donald Trump says he'll approve the legislation as soon as it reaches his desk. The Labor Department is releasing its weekly jobless numbers this morning, and it's expected to be historic, and not in a good way. Analysts say the number of people filing claims for unemployment benefits is likely between 1 and 4 million. The highest the country has seen so far was during 1982 in that depression, when the numbers reached 695,000. Businesses all over the valley are resetting for an extended round of COVID-19 closures, but we have an idea about when Fargo's largest shopping mall might see customers again. Details on that in just a bit. But first, what can you expect when you step out the door this morning? Well, it might feel a bit like yesterday, but we have some good news out there. Lisa Green will have our forecast right after this.